Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the podcast. I am Jenna Morton.
And I'm Tosh Taylor.
And we have another fantastic guest with us this week here in studio, which we are so excited about.
We are, for the very first time, we are actually in the Rogers studio, so we're so super excited to be here and to kick it off with a really great guest, of course. But all of our guests are super fantastic, aren't they?
Of course, but this is a guest that you have been trying to get on our show, I think, for at least about a year now.
Yeah.
It's finally timed out, so we are so excited about this.
Well, her name is Diani Blanco, and honestly, for the past year, we have been talking about all the great things that she's doing in our community. Diani, you moved here years ago, and I really think that you kind of have made an impact on the Moncton area very quickly, and I have to commend you for that. So first, I want to talk a little bit about you and explain to people kind of who you are and how you ended up in Moncton and what you're doing to help kids change their lives.
Thank you. So my name is Diani Blanco. I moved here from Dominican Republic when I was 10 years old in Shediac. So it was like a big change for me, but of course I love Shediac. And then after that I went to foster care in Kent County. And every time I was just drawn to come back to Moncton. There's something about Moncton, right? So now I'm really blessed to be here again. But it happened in a hard, it was sad how it happened that I came back to Moncton because my apartment burned last year. So it was like a roller coaster, and I was like, okay, I have to make this move anyway, so let's do it. And after when my apartment burned last year, everybody in the community actually came together and helped me and my boys. So I just wanted to give back. I was like, this is amazing. Moncton is amazing. We have an amazing community, right? So it's like, I'm happy to be here again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you do a lot of work on the charitable side, and you also work with Youth Impact as well, right?
Yes.
So you really are helping, and I know that you, I guess before COVID and everything, you were going around to schools and kind of educating children on abuse in relationships too.
Yes, I was sharing my personal story, and I think, and I tell that to every youth that I see, when something painful happened to you, just twist it around and make something beautiful with it. So for me, it was like, okay, I've been through this. I don't want anybody to go through that. So how can I help? I was in high school when I was in that relationship that was really abusive, and it continued after that. And for me, it's like, okay, I need to start where I was. I need to be the person that I needed when that was going on. So that's how it started.
I love that.
I think that's so powerful because I think it's so underlooked how much abuse happens within relationships among teens.
Yeah.
I know there were a lot of things that happened when I was growing up in my school that brought that to light in a very sad way, like you say. But then I've seen that conversation change there since then. Would you share a little bit more of what you share with youth with us?
Yes, of course. So I always start with how it started, the relationship. So I went to foster care in Kent County. At that time, I was really broken, of course. I was just trying to find love, right? I didn't have that at home. I grew up in a violent house, so it was really hard to just connect with people. So when I started that relationship, it just started slowly. I tell the kids, it always starts slowly, getting jealous for that, maybe cheating, maybe lying, and then sometimes it escalates, and then you don't know where to go for help. And in my case, I didn't have any family. I didn't have any friends. My friends were his friends first, like he always said. And the only thing that he will always take is every time that I was trying to find that power inside of me and speak up, he will say, who's gonna believe you? You don't have anybody. Your mom gave you away. Oh. And I was like, and right there I was like, it's true, I don't have anybody. Who's gonna believe me? And I always tell the kids, don't believe that. You're amazing. Just go talk to somebody slowly, you know what I mean? I'm sure your parents will be there for you, or if you're not your parents, but probably at school, a teacher or a best friend that you can really trust. And I always say, just go for help right away. Don't stay there. And my relationship, it went really bad after when I moved on my own when I was 16 and a half. He moved there with me, and he wasn't supposed to. So I was always lying to my social worker, who was beyond amazing. Her name is Sophia Bao. And she was always there for me, but I was lying because I was scared. And then the physical abuse started and the verbal abuse started. And a lot of people knew that, but they were scared to like jump in and be like, what's going on? And ask me questions because they were scared that I was gonna get offended or something's gonna happen. But I was like, I would have loved for somebody to be like, Diani, come on, you got this. Don't stay in that relationship. You're better than that. But now I say like, everything happened for a reason. I'm beyond blessed because now I can help somebody else get out of that bad relationship.
Do you feel like it's because of that social worker that you've kind of decided to go into the line of work that you are into now?
100%. She's, again, she was amazing. I wish that all around the world we would have more Sophia Bao, that's for sure. She was always there for me, even if I was acting like I didn't care and being like this tough person, she was still there. Every week I would have a phone call, she would come and visit me and talk to me and even tell me like, I'm here for you every time. Even if I wasn't opening up to her, I was listening, right? And I was taking that like, why do you care for me? Mm-hmm. Why are you saying you love me? You don't even know me. Like, you're not even my mother, right? That's what I was saying to myself. I was like, she doesn't care. She's just saying that. But she did. And I'm really happy that she was in my life. She was there for a reason. And like, I'm this person because of her, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So what steps did you take after, like, you obviously, you got yourself out of that relationship?
Yes.
And what have you done in the meantime? Because, I mean, we're going to talk about Queens of Heart soon, but you have been doing other things as well to empower women in our area as well.
Yeah. Again, for me, it's more about my experience. I can give it to somebody else and help them. Either if, as a youth worker, that I can share my personal story, the way that I grew up. Even like helping a single mom, like you said, when I started Queens of Heart, with lunches for the kids, or if they needed like a box of food, if they were like short of food or anything like that. So yeah, I think for me it's just giving. I just love the community work, and I just love being out there and just helping, and yeah.
You had interviewed on your podcast someone that we have now interviewed because I was listening to the podcast and I went, we have got to have Corey Hunter on our podcast.
Yes.
And it's so like you were saying, like you're connecting people, right? Like I would have never known of Corey and all the amazing things that she's doing in our community if it wasn't for you. So I don't know if you realize how much you're connecting people by doing things like that, but it's really appreciated.
I think that now I see it more because of Cindy Camo. She's like the queen of connecting people. I just love her. So the first time that I met her, she was like connecting this one with this one and that one. I was like, ooh, I like that, right? And I love connection. And I think that's why I'm just doing this, because I love connecting people, because I saw her. And the first time that I saw her at an event, I was like, I don't want to be her.
I know how you feel.
I really want to be her. But yeah, Corey, she's amazing. She's been doing so much for the community, and she has my heart. I just love her. Yeah.
Amazing.
So why don't you tell us a little bit more about some of that work that you've been doing to help other people?
So Queens of Heart, for me personally, started way before the pandemic. So after the fire, after moving in, I was in a huge depression. And I didn't even share that with many people at all. It was really hard because people believe that now that you have materials, you should be good. So everybody was telling me, oh my God, you have a place now. You have a couch, you have this, you have that. You should be good. But it wasn't about the material things. It was that I built everything that was taken away like this from me as a single mom. When I moved out, I had to rebuild my life. I had to buy everything by myself. I remember just sleeping on a mattress, me and my son, my two boys actually, for the longest time. We didn't have a couch, we didn't have a table. I had to like work hard, overtime, pay that cash, and I was so proud of myself the whole time. I've struggled with food a lot. I remember keeping my son sometimes when he started kindergarten, because I didn't have any snack or any food for him to go to school. So for me, it was like, it was easier to just keep him home, so I know what's going on type of thing. I was struggling with food. I didn't have anybody to ask for help. Everybody that I thought that would be there to help me didn't help me at all. So I was like, when I moved here, I was like, I want to give back to the community that gave so much to me. And again, I don't like material things, but when that was taken away from me in the fire, I was like devastated. So after that, I was like, okay, I need to put myself back up. Yes, it's true. And I had to talk to myself and be like, okay, my kids are healthy, I'm good. And that's what really matters. I can still rebuild myself again, right? And so I started helping a few single moms here and there at the beginning of November. So when the pandemic hit, they were like reaching out and being, oh my God, this person, that person. And I was like, oh my God, that's a lot of people. But, and I was beyond, and I'm really blessed as an essential worker, as a youth worker. I still had my job. Nothing had changed for me, technically, in a way. I was blessed that my brother and her fiance was there to help me with the kids, as I'm working night shift, so it's kind of hard. So I was like, okay, we need to do something. And Alicia actually reached out to me too. She's like, I have this single mom. She can't reach out to her social worker. What can we do? Like, I'm not sure of like where to go with this. And I said, it's okay. Let's do a box and drop it to her. So that's pretty much how it started.
That's where it came from.
Yeah, so we were like, okay, we need to do something because we have all these single parents. And again, it's not just single mothers, it's just you see more single mothers than single fathers. But we had a few single fathers reach out to us and ask for help. And I applaud that. Like, I love that. And the one thing that I always say to the families is don't be ashamed to ask for help. Even if I'm the person that had a hard time before, like I wish that I would have reached out more, you know. So I think now I can share that and be like, don't be ashamed. You're amazing. You're powerful. It's amazing if you can go and ask for somebody for help. Don't ever be ashamed of that. No.
Exactly, and that's typically the first step to get you started in the right direction, which is always forward.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Alicia. Who is Alicia, and how are other people coming in to help you with these boxes?
Alicia Nguyen is my co-founder.
Okay.
We started Queens of Heart, again, just that way. We were like, okay, we need to do something. It's bigger than us. That's what we said. It was like, it's bigger than us. We need to do something. We just want to fill the gap between help. But I know that the food bank is doing an amazing job, but sometimes people get refused, or, you know what I mean? It's hard. So that's how we started. And the people that help is pretty much the community, right? Everybody's dropping like food or sending donations, so that's how we make it happen.
That's amazing. I didn't realize that it was like community people that were jumping on board and dropping off donations or giving gift cards or what have you.
Yes.
That is even more incredible.
Yeah, I just love it. Like it's incredible when people reach out and they're like, we want to be with you guys. We want to be connected with you guys. We want to have a meaning of like what we're doing. And there was this lady, she dropped like 2 big bags of groceries, and she's like, you're doing an amazing job. Let me know if you ever need anything. We're there to help you. And my kids, they're always there. Yeah. Of course, they're always helping me do the boxes. Or Elijah right now took over the little lunch box for the kids. So he's making like little lunches and then dropping them to the kids for school. So it's kind of like, it touched my heart.
How old is your son?
He's 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to take over. Like, he's like, I can do this. So it's fun. Like, he shops for everything, the little snacks. He's like, oh, little friends will like this.
Little friends.
Yeah.
Oh,
Every kid is their little friends, and I love that.
Yeah.
They really
That's
don't see the
amazing.
difference. So it's kind of fun to have them there and involve. And like I said, even Nico, he's like my little firecracker, but he's always like, let's go help the little friends, they need food. And I'm like, and it's fun to have that, right? And for me, it's an amazing experience, not only for me, but for them and for the kids who need the help, right? The parents and the families, because sometimes you have beautiful stories and sometimes it's a sad story. And it's good to have the kids there. Like last week, I had like an emergency drop off, and the 2 boys went outside to pick up the boxes. And then they were like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm gonna do something like that when I grow up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they always see it, and I think you never know who you're gonna impact, right? So I'm like, never know, maybe that kid is gonna be the future. He's gonna do something amazing, right? So
that's it. You're changing lives, right? Yeah.
Without even knowing, right?
Well, and I think it's so powerful to have your kids involved and to see the other kids reacting, because for so long, I think especially like our generation, there was that veil that, you know, you'd be ashamed to say that you went to the food bank or that you needed help or, you know, but to make it that community effort where it really is just, no, we all help each other when we can in the way that we can and break that down, that stigma is so important.
It's like I feel like I'm back home in Dominican Republic. I remember that. I remember having the neighbors like coming to my mom's house if they missed something, or my mom going to my neighbor's house and be like, hey, come for supper. Hey, do you have sugar? I miss sugar for this and that, right? And I just miss that. I miss the connection of people together, and I think we're having it back. And it's kind of sad that the pandemic happened, but at the same time, I'm kind of happy because then you see the connection, you see people coming together, and then people realizing, okay, it's not just about me, right? We did a delivery like a few houses down. Like, you don't think about stuff like that. You don't think that your neighbor might be the one in need, right? And sometimes you're too focused on you sometimes that you really need to like look around you, and then you will be amazed of what you see.
I have to agree with you 100%. There are some really good things that did come out of this, and that is for sure one of them. People stepping, I know, like, I'm going to use the term out of their bubble, which is totally against what we're supposed to be doing, but you know exactly what it is.
Bubble, not your physical bubble.
Your mental bubble. We need to talk about the Buy a Box, Give a Box campaign that you have going on with Dolma and with Hub City Foodies.
Yes. Oh, I love it. So Jason, I love food. Jason reached out to me. He's like, hey, we have this idea. What do you think? I'm like, yes, I'm on board. I love it. It's a great idea. So you buy a box. Let's say you buy a box. And there's like 3-course meal in there for 4 people. It's kind of good. For 130, it's pretty good. You can just have wine, make your little supper together and have like a couple date or something. I don't know. But then 1 box is going to go to Queens of Heart, and I'm going to deliver that to a family in need. So I think it's amazing. You feel connected, and there's a meaning of you buying a box, right? It's not just buying a box for nothing. When you buy that box, you know that somebody right now is cooking supper with their kids, having fun and feeling good, right? And there's like, again, that connection with food and family getting together. Like I said, I feel going like I'm back home in Dominican Republic and music full blast and everybody's dancing and cooking. That's what I want to see. And I want everybody to enjoy that.
Well, and it is such an enjoyable thing to do, to cook together and to have that whole meal. It's not just a box of odds and ends and non-perishables and you know, there's amazing work that the food banks do and that you know drop off of groceries can do, but to have that meal in a box with that experience tied to it, that like have some fun, get together, make this meal and enjoy it, I think must be so powerful for the families who get to have that opportunity.
Oh, like that's the thing. I can't wait to have the stories. Like I always say, like reach out to me and let me know how it was.
I want your feedback.
Yes, I just love it. And again, it's the connection, especially with the kids too, right? The kids are gonna have a fun time. And for me, I always focus with the kids. I'm like kids, because it's pretty much, like I said, they are the future. So having something like that, and for them knowing that the community have their back, it's a lot. You know, sometimes they might feel like they're alone, but then having little things like that in our community, they will be like, okay, again, we're all together. This is just one community. We're all the same, you know? So I want that for them.
I agree, and I love the idea of knowing while you're making that meal in your house, that it's designed by amazing chefs.
Oh, Jason Galon, yes.
And then you're getting amazing quality food from Dolma as well.
Yes.
And then you can have that experience in your house and think like, happily, I'm not the only person eating this meal tonight.
Yes.
Right? That there's someone else that's getting an amazing meal because of me.
And I really like the fact that it's a business, a chef, and a charity getting together to make a difference, right? So again, you can see how Montanic, it's pretty amazing and why I'm back here.
It all comes full circle.
Yes.
Yeah. I have to I have to agree. Like, I don't think that you would find that in many cities, like where getting all of those companies together to work with a charity, especially a charity that's just getting off the ground, like literally November. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So if people are listening, if they're watching and they want to buy a box, what do they need to know?
Either they can reach out to me by Facebook, Diani Blanco, or they can go to Eventbrite, it's there. Or you can even reach out to Jason Gano from Hub City
Foodies, yeah.
Yes. It's like the Spanish, the French, and English together sometimes doesn't match. Yes. But yeah, you can reach out. Like, again, the meals are really easy. We really wanted to make, like, especially Jason, like, his focus was to make a meal that it will easy, everybody can do it. And then, again, don't be intimidated by the pictures. They look amazing and really delicious. But yeah, don't be shy. It's good and it's easy to make.
Awesome.
Just a picture is like
yeah. Well, sometimes a picture is what Jason's. No, he's not the best at pictures. His pictures are good. His cooking's better.
Oh my God, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, before we let you go today, we want to thank you for joining us. And we want to make sure that everybody is following Queens of Heart as well. It's Queens, pluralized. So you can check them out. And if you want to make any donations to the charity, then you can also contact Diani as well to make some donations or drop off some food or anything. Yeah, perfect.
Fantastic. It's been such a pleasure getting to hear some of your story, and just the energy and the enthusiasm is so fun to share.
Thank you so much for having me.